Hello, good evening and welcome to Old Trafford. It's Manchester United against Burnley in the Clarets match live, coming to you live from Old Trafford. The teams have just entered the playing field from the tunnel. And while we're waiting for the formalities to be complete, let me give you the full team news for tonight. So Manchester United, David De Gea in goal, Lindelof, Jones, Pereira, Young. Well, it's going to be there in goal, a back four of Shaw, Lindelof, Jones and Young. Then in the midfield you've got Matic, and I wager that Pogba, Mata and Pereira will be the midfield, with Lukaku and Rashford certainly further forward. On the bench, Romero, Sanchez, Smalling, Lingard, Fred, Dalot and Herrera for Manchester United. For Burnley, same 11 as it was against Watford and the 3 other games preceding that. It was Tom Heaton, the captain, in goal, and then across the back we've got Phil Bardsley, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. Then Jeff Emerick will start on the right hand side of midfield, with Westwood and Cork in the centre, with Dwight McNeil on the left hand side. Up front, Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood are the main strikers this evening. On the bench for the Clarets, Joe Hart, Johan Berg Gudmundsson, Sam Vokes, Ben Gibson, a subject of a transfer speculation from Aston Villa, same with Sam Vokes, Stephen Ward, Matty Vidra and young Josh Benson, who comes in from the academy to be part of the 18 tonight. The referees and officials. The referee tonight is John Moss from Yorkshire, West Yorkshire. The two officials, I can also tell you the assistants tonight, with the red and yellow flag, Mark Perry, and with the bright fluorescent yellow flag, just normal yellow flag, Harry Leonard. Fourth official, incidentally, is Martin Atkinson of West Yorkshire. So Tom Heaton back on his old stomping ground. He was on this ground a couple of years ago where he denied Zlatan Ibrahimovic from point blank range, you may remember. And of course we'll keep you, with Russ Vernon's help, we'll keep you abreast of all the other games via text message. But we're going to pay tribute now to the Munich air disaster which happened, and this is the last home game to the anniversary, where in 1958 the Busby Babes, half of them died in that devastating tragedy. And we remember those now who passed away in Munich on February the 6th, 1958. Beautifully respected by both Manchester United and Burnley fans. Munich, a terrible tragedy, 1958, when most of the Busby Braves squad were wiped out, sadly, in that terrible hair disaster after a European Cup tie. There's tonight's referee from West Yorkshire, John Moss. Burnley don't get much change out of him on refereeing decisions some days. And it's going to be Manchester United to kick off, and they're going to attack the Stretford end. But nice to remember the people that died in Munich, the likes of Duncan Edwards, who may well have been an England international of the future. He was certainly a promising player coming through the ranks in those days at Old Trafford. But well, it's the class of 2009 now, unbeaten under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. In fact, they've got a 100% record under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And this will be a tough ask for Burnley, but as we said, it's all not watertight at that United defence as we get underway now. Manchester United in the red shirt, and they're attacking the goal to our left. That's the Stretford end at Old Trafford. You may work it out for yourselves. Burnley attacking to the end where all their supporters are. They're in white shirts tonight, the Clarets. And Manchester United need, I tell you, in red shirts, dark shorts and red stockings. And I think this is going to be an interesting confrontation between two sides that really need the points for different reasons. Burnley to make sure they stay away from that bottom three, and of course Manchester United to keep up their outside pursuit of a Champions League place. And of course we'll keep you abreast of all the other scores as we go along. And Newcastle have also kicked off. They've played 16 minutes in all the other games. It's Arsenal 0, Cardiff City 0. Brighton have scored at Fulham, which is a good result for Burnley in some respects. No wins, and Everton winning at Huddersfield. 10th meeting, 5 wins for United, 1 win for Burnley, and the rest have been draws. But the one big result really for Burnley, the win that they got was in August 2009 when they beat Manchester United. Robbie Blake, remember him? Robbie Blake with a sumptuous volley and then a Brian Jensen penalty save. In fact, he went on to make a series of fine saves throughout the course of the game. And Manchester City have already taken the lead at Newcastle, 1-0 to Manchester City. So Brighton are winning 1-0, and so too are Everton as well at Huddersfield. But here come Burnley now on the attack, and the ball out of play. It will be a Burnley throw in. It did get a deflection off Mon Mata, all wearing black armbands, of course, in memory of the 58, in memory of Munich 58, people that died there back in 1958. And of course the comment section is open for business, and be interesting to see how you lot react to everything there. But an immaculate observed minute silence from both sets of fans and both sets of supporters shows that sometimes even in rivalries that football can be united. As Bardsley gets the ball down the right hand channel, but Lindelof should see that out of play, although Barnes was tussling along with him at the byline. But a goal kick has been given to Manchester United. Barnes did just the thing with Ashley Barnes is he gives you that competitive edge, and that's the sort of thing you need on a night like this. Brighton came very close to getting a draw here in the last home match at Old Trafford. They only lost by the odd goal in 3. Chris Hughton's men having a decent season at the moment. They're still in the FA Cup, and Burnley now, we don't want to see them moulding in Manchester like we did on Saturday. It was hard to watch. It was hard to stomach as we tumbled out the FA Cup. But thankfully, Manchester City's reward could be a trip to Rodney Parade, which will be potentially a trip to Rodney Parade, because they've still got to get past Middlesbrough in the FA Cup replay. As Pogba twists and turns and tries to hook a ball in, and the ball comes to Mata. Now Rashford with the crossing towards the penalty area. Taylor couldn't take no chances there because he had a man free at the back, and that was Ashley Young coming in there, so he had to take evasive action there, Charlie Taylor, and he just did that competently enough. It is a corner to United. We're coming up towards 4 minutes gone in the first half. Boy, has that gone quickly. Here's the corner, shot by Young to Pereira, gets the shot off. It gets a couple of deflections. Still no score yet in this game as Shaw gets the ball across. A big chance here inside the area for Rashford. Rashford shoots, it's charged away. Big opportunity there for Marcus Rashford. Hit it with his right foot, but it was straight at, I think it might have hit Ben Mee and gone for the corner. The corner's been taken quickly, however, and the ball is out of play, and it will be a Manchester United ball level with the penalty area of Burnley, and it's attack against defence again, I'm afraid. Burnley on the back foot here, sure to take the throw. And if Burnley do lose, it's not a complete disaster, because this is not going to define how we stay in the Premier League. But if we can lose fighting, then that's a positive that we should take out of it. Anything more than that would be an absolute bonus. As De Gea takes possession now, and Phil Jones now has it. He'll be booed by a lot of the Burnley fans. He was an ex-Blackburn Rovers player many moons ago. as we go past the 5-minute mark here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Burnley 0 is the scoreline. 2-2 it finished here last season on Boxing Day. Burnley should have had all 3 points. Went 2 up, and it was noted by an early goal from Ashley Barnes, and then Stephen Defoe doubled the lead, and then Jesse Lingard with a couple of goals equalising. The first one looked very suspicious to me, but the second one, there was just no stopping him there, and United got away with it. Early in the season, United won very comfortably, 2-0 against Burnley. They did have a man sent off, you may remember, as United now have it now in the centre with one Mata. Shaw is 3 on the left hand side, so too is Marcus Rashford here, flanked by 2 white shirted Burnley players. Did very well there. Cork now to win the next ball for Burnley, and he's come through the centre. That's just, they were just bunching up a little bit there, the Clarets. Barnes was probably a little too close there to Cork, as Cork played that ball forwards, but to no avail in the end. Here's one Mata now on the halfway line, goes to the left hand side, inside the Burnley half on the left hand side of United, and the ball hooked back and chested back to Tom Heaton. Charlie Taylor been in the action already quite a bit in the opening 6.5 minutes we've been playing here at Old Trafford. And here's Tom Heaton with the kick, right footed, over the halfway line it goes. Never made a single first team appearance for Manchester United. Here's Chris Wood, the referee playing in advantage. Chris Wood gets the shot off, and the first shot on target is from a Burnley player. It's Chris Wood jinking into through the centre, turning the United defenders this way and that. His shot was a little bit tame, but it was on target, and it forced David De Gea to make a routine enough save, but was a little bit of a tester there for United's goalkeeper. Just proves that United are a little bit suspect still at the back, which might give a little bit of encouragement for Sean Dyche. They've gone 4-4-2 again. Tried and trusted, it works. Header back to Tom Heaton, who was heroic. You may remember back a couple of seasons ago, that save from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I've seen millions and millions of times since that day, and my goodness, it gets better every time you see it. Fantastic performance and a well-deserved point. They haven't won at Old Trafford for quite some time. Burnley looked as if they were going to do so this time last season, but it didn't come off for them that day. 2-2 draw they got out with. Unbeaten in their last 2 visits, in fact, to Old Trafford, 0-0 and 2-2. So Burnley have every chance of picking up something here tonight, but United are going to be red-hot favourites considering what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done to them. They've simply been a team transformed, and the same players that were under Mourinho are now playing for the manager. There's a little bit of afters going on here. Here's Lukaku forward. Romelu Lukaku up against his man. Chance inside the penalty area, and what a miss that was inside the penalty area. It was wide of the target. It was Marcus Rashford with his right foot. You'd have backed him 9 times out of 10 to have put that away. And Burnley have got off here. Good running by Lukaku. Tarkowski couldn't afford to touch him then, and that was an incredible miss there from Marcus Rashford. Stubbed it. Well, you'd have backed him to score there 9 times out of 10, but he didn't. 8 goals and 6 assists in 20 games this season. Lukaku, in fact, making his first start in the Premier League under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The baby-faced assassin, they used to call him in his playing days at Old Trafford. He's gone down in Manchester United folklore as the man who scored the winning goal in that 1999 Champions League final in Barcelona. He was always called two nicknames here at Old Trafford. One, as I said, the baby-faced assassin, and super sub, because he used to come on as substitute and score late goals that would win United games from nowhere. There was one he got in the FA Cup the same season where Liverpool led, and then Dwight York got an equaliser, and Solskjaer a minute later scored from close range, and that's the sort of pedigree I'm talking about. Here's A long ball whipped in there by Bardsley, another ex-United player of course, and the ball comes out to the edge of the area and the shot came in. It might have been from Dwight McNeil. The ball comes away again, Ben Mee heading it forward, McNeil winning the next one, Wood holding it up well. There's the shot coming in and Burnley having a good spell, but the referee's blown, I think, for a free infringement and a free kick to Manchester United with 10.5 minutes gone. I think it was Chris Wood doing a little bit of holding there. So 0-0 is the score. Well, Solskjaer off the bench once again. Comment section not working tonight. Well, he usually does work. I don't know whether it's working tonight or not, but if it isn't working, we'll read some comments out at half time. But enjoy the match without the comment section or not. And I'll manually pick the JB man in the match, whatever he's doing. But it's Burnley on the ball now, and it's Phil Bardsley here in a bit of space on the right hand side. Well, he might have crossed it a bit sooner, but he's had to go retreat. I think he was trying to show Rashford a clean pair of heels. Not at 35, I don't think. Not at 33, 34. Crystal Palace. Burnley have kept 6 clean sheets this season. So they're behind Newcastle and Crystal Palace on 7 and 8. Cardiff have kept 6, Southampton 5 and United 4. So Burnley in fact have kept more clean sheets than Manchester United all season, which is quite an achievement really in some respects, considering where both teams are in the table at the moment. Burnley looking to keep their 7th clean sheet, United looking to keep only their 5th this season. And here's Rashford down the left hand touchline. Tarkowski hassling him all the way, and the goal kick I think has been given to Burnley. Indeed it has, and Tarkowski having a nice little battle there with Marcus Rashford. Nothing wrong with those little pushes there. Rashford knows now he's in a game when you've got the likes of me and Tarkowski breathing down your neck. Brighton have gone 2 up against Fulham at the Craven Cottage. Still Everton 1, Huddersfield 0. Wolves and West Ham are 0-0. They played 28 minutes incidentally. 13 gone at James's. It's 1-0. They played 20. Manchester City winning 1-0. Arsenal 0, Cardiff 0 is a current scoreline, and we've got 2 Burnley players out for the count here on halfway line, and it's Jack Cork 1, and I think it's Dwight McNeil's the second one. Yep. Oop, there we go. Oh dear me. I think Dwight McNeil probably came off a little bit the worst there, but I think he's a tough cookie, young Dwight McNeil. He's a fearless young character. We've seen him a few times this season. I remember him initially against Olympiacos. In fact, he made his Premier League debut against Manchester United earlier on this season, which was quite a good one. I've said hi, but you've not said hi to me yet. Oh, sorry, Russ. I didn't know that. Good evening to you, Russ. I do apologise. If nothing, I can't really switch on the laptop between this and YouTube. That's why I've got it up on my monitor, and on my television screen I just haven't got it. Anyway, Brian Barwick and Sir Alex Ferguson. Great to see him in very good health after his health scare last season. And he's now back to full fitness, even at the sprightly age of 77 years old, and he's back watching every Manchester United game as well. One of the great British managers of all time, born in Govan, of course. Had success with Aberdeen in the early 80s, and then moved to Manchester United in 86, where he had unparalleled success. I think he won about 12 league titles, 6 FA Cups or something like that. He won 4 League Cups and 2 European Cups. Massive amount of prizes that he took away. It was the FA Cup win in 1990 which sort of put him on the road to greatness. Lee Martin, remember him with the winner? And that saved Alex Ferguson's skin at Old Trafford. And of course that early in that run, that 3rd round match at Nottingham Forest, Robin scored at the end. which a lot of people perceive that saved Ferguson his job that day. Well, are we going to Solskjaer now the first man to win 7 or 8 games as a Manchester United manager, permanent or interim? He is the interim manager until the end of the season. They were talking about Pochettino coming to Old Trafford next season, but the way Solskjaer has gone about his business since coming to the club, I think he's making a fantastic case here for the manager's job on a permanent basis. The thing you'll get with Solskjaer, he'll play the United way. He'll play the way that Manchester United have always been accustomed to, as McNeil goes forward and gets a cross, comes shot in from the left hand side, and he almost caught David De Gea unawares there, and the Clarets all of a sudden from almost nothing could have gone ahead. That would have been a remarkable goal if it had dropped in there from Dwight McNeil. And I just have to reiterate the point that he is a fearless competitor, and he certainly got that in abundance here. Arsenal 0, Cardiff 0, Brighton 2 up against Fulham. They fought Huddersfield 0, Everton 1. There 8 o'clock kickoffs, 7:45 kickoffs. So is Wolves and West Ham, and 2 8 o'clock kickoffs. One is this one you're seeing here, that's listening to, that's 0-0, and the one at St James's Park between Newcastle and Manchester City, and Manchester City leading that one as the ball is spread in towards Chris Wood. Big chance inside the area for Barnes, and what is there to Barnes as a swipe at it. And what a chance for Ashley! Ashley Barnes with a chance there to make it 1-0 for Burnley. The ball brought kindly here to the Clarets. It was Westwood laying the ball in, and Barnes missed kicking it. He may have actually come off a defender here. Let me have a look at it. Did Phil Jones get a touch? I think he did, because Barnes swiped at it and got none of the ball. But he's in there lurking again for the corner. 17 minutes gone. Burnley starting to ask 1 or 2 questions all of a sudden at Manchester United. This could be good for the game if that's the case. And if they score from this corner, my word, the away fans will lift us through for big time. As Westwood sends the corner in. Jack Cork coming in at the back post, and it will be another corner because it came off Luke Shaw at the back post. So a corner from the right hand side. Another good delivery that time from Ashley Westwood. Did really well. Got the corner in into a decent area. Very, very difficult for defenders. Encouraging signs this to the Clarets. This is positive. A lot more than what they did on Saturday in the FA Cup game. Mian Warden forward. Cork's in there. So too is Tarkowski. McNeil to take the corner now from the right hand side. That's going again towards the back post, and again, and that could be another corner. No, it's not. It's a goal kick this time. Chris Wood kindly got the last touch in the end, and it's out for a goal kick. And Sean Dyche will be a little bit encouraged by that little passage of play there that Burnley enjoyed. Wasn't a couple of quick successive corners. In fact, it is a third corner. I thought it'd gone for a goal kick. It must have come off a United defender. So Burnley have a third corner in succession. They've gone short this time. Crossing from the left hand side. Ben Mee has peeled away, but his first touch was a bit unfortunate there, and the ball, I'm afraid, runs dead into touch. He was a bit unfortunate there, Ben Mee, in fairness to him. It wasn't an easy ball to try and take down and attempt to cross. I've just seen a shot there as Sean Dyche, and then in the background walking past is the Manchester United assistant manager Mike Phelan. I think that was a shrewd move by Solskjaer to bring him in as well, because he was assistant to Ferguson at Old Trafford for many, many years. Burnley man actually comes from Nelson, incidentally, as the cross comes in and turned away by Tarkowski. Was born just down the road from a few miles down the road in Oldham. In fact, where I was this afternoon, funnily enough, doing on other business. As Young is now going to take the corner now for Manchester United. Big crowd inside United, over 75,000 inside Old Trafford for this one here tonight, as the ball is thumped in again, and Ben Mee got the header in. Shot comes in from Luke Shaw from the edge of the area, and that goes well wide of the right hand post. Hit it with his left foot, but well wide, as I say, of the right hand post, and in the end behind for a goal kick. Burnley will be delighted now as we come up as we rattle rapidly up to the 40th minute mark, 20th minute mark I should say. 20 minutes too early. As we rapidly approach 20 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. Here's Tom Heaton with the kick for Manchester United. 0-0 is the score here at Old Trafford as the ball is spread forward. And we will endeavour to try and read some of your comments in a minute or two. As Pogba is fouled to the floor by Phil Bardsley. I think Pogba should just stop pussyfooting around and get on with the game. Yes, Russ is the only one who's actually texted in so far, and I'm looking on Facebook on my mobile, so I will. Whoever's giving me thumbs down, please don't. I'm trying to do a service here. Don't give me thumbs down. I don't enjoy getting thumbs downs from people. As the ball goes into the penalty area, chance here for United. Oh, the ball's ricocheted off the post and Lukaku can't finish, but the flag is up for offside anyway against Juan Mata, who had the original shot that rebounded off the post. And the Burnley lads played the offside trap to an absolute treat there. Got a good hand on it actually, Tom. Did really well, the Burnley captain. It was a good piece of goalkeeping that from Heaton. And the linesman on the far side, which is Harry Leonard, made a fantastic decision there. Good call there by Mr. Leonard, the official with the plain yellow flag, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's consultations again with Mike Phelan and the rest of the coaching staff. So 0-0 in the game between Arsenal and Cardiff. That's 37 minutes now played in that game, I believe. And same with Huddersfield and Cardiff. In fact, it's 33 minutes, I'm being told. Wolves and West Ham are still 0-0. 22 got it as well as at St James's. 1-0 to Manchester City against Newcastle. And here at Old Trafford in our match, an 8 o'clock kickoff. Let me remind you, Burnley holding Manchester United here magnificently to a blank 0-0 draw so far, and they're fully meriting it at the moment. But here's Shaw for Manchester United on the left hand side. Shaw back inside to Matic, now to Phil Jones. Jones to Lindelof. Lindelof goes forward, charges forward, and again United playing with a little bit of confidence, which was lacking under Mourinho, that's for sure. Not seen too much of him since Solskjaer has taken control, but what I've seen with them so far as a team, they're certainly playing with a little bit more positivity. I did see them in action in the cup match against Arsenal, where they were completely and utterly ruthless in winning that game 3-1. As the ball comes forward, and a chance here for Barnes to get away as well, with Chris Wood as well. The ball is back to David De Gea. De Gea gets the ball over to Ashley Young on the far side as we go past the halfway mark now. The first half, sorry. We played 23 minutes at Old Trafford, and it's still Manchester United 0, Burnley 0 in the Premier League. The Clarets match live, coming to you from Old Trafford. Here's Jeff Enrick for Burnley, 0-0 as he hooks the ball from the right hand side, looking again towards looks like Chris Wood on that far side. Ashley Barnes, I've just noticed, has gone a little bit more deeper as Phil Jones brings that ball away now for United. And the game just slowing down a little bit pace wise as Jones just playing it in there to Shaw, then back to Jones again. I've got to say, at the moment in time, I know we aren't having to tempt fate or anything tonight, but so far so good for Burnley. They've been really asking United a lot of questions. They've been good as well when they've been asked a few questions in defence. Tarkowski and me have answered everything, and Tom Heaton's done what he's needed to do with a minimum of fuss. Here's Pogba on the left hand side for Manchester United. £89 million, astronomical amount of money to come in for him. But here's a chance now inside the area. Juan Mata was in there. What a tackle that was. Fantastic tackle there by Phil Bardsley. He knew Mata was in, and he took the chance, knowing that if he got it wrong, he would give a penalty away. He got the ball. That's what mattered, and he got the ball fairly and squarely. And Mata, to his credit, was very honest and stayed on his feet. I liked it. And usually Spanish footballers usually dab around and all over the place in attempting to cheat. So credit credit goes to one matter as well, for being honest and staying on his feet, and that's a trait that's gone away from the game, I believe, and that's made the game a bit more poorer for me in terms of honesty and fair play. I think that's why the authorities are now trying to rush in VAR now quite conclusively. VAR will be in use for all the 380 Premier League games next season, and not before time too, as we go past 41 minutes in the 7:45s. Let me just bring you up to date with the events there. There are 4 7:45 kickoffs and 2 8 o'clock kickoffs, 6 games in total tonight. Let's just bring you up to date with all that. Arsenal and Cardiff are 0-0 at the Emirates. Brighton are still winning 2-0 against Fulham. They've played 41 minutes, incidentally, these 7:45 games. Huddersfield 0, Everton 1, and Wolves 0, West Ham United 0. They're coming up rapidly towards half time. 25 gone here, nearly 26 minutes gone. 0-0 here, and 1-0 to Manchester City. They more or less played the same amount of time as this game as well, so plenty going on at the moment as they take a throw in Manchester United, but the ball's intercepted this time by Henrik. Gets the ball forward, Chris Wood is there, chance inside the penalty area, good strike by the New Zealand international, and it was straight down the road of the goalkeeper, right footed shot. I'm just seeing the banner there, February the 6th 1958, and one of the survivors is still there, the legend that is Sir Bobby Charlton, who not just survived it, went on to play for another 12-13 years at Old Trafford till 1973. He won the World Cup, we remember, with England back in 1966. A real stalwart to Manchester United, that is for sure, Sir Bobby Charlton, MBE of course. As the ball is kicked away by Tom Heaton, who's playing in an all fluorescent yellow goalkeeper's jersey tonight. As the ball cuts away by Shaw, now the ball picked up by Taylor. Burnley having a good little period of play as we've seen so far. This is Westwood on halfway, threads the ball out to the right hand side where Bardsley's got a little bit of space, but then Rashford, a lot more of a quicker player than him, understandably so because of the age difference. Bardsley's quite a lot older player than what Marcus Rashford certainly is, and this is where Bardsley's got to use his experience, I suppose, and take professionals' care tonight for Burnley, and that's the way it has to be for him. At the moment they're on course, even at this early stage in the proceedings. We're coming up to 28 minutes of doing well. They did a lot better than what they did at Manchester City the other day, that's for sure. I'm not sure that Tom Willington's actually had a serious save of any real note to make in open play yet. I'm just trying to think of what's United have thrown at Burnley really. They've not really thrown much in the way of clear-cut opportunities. The only chance they've had was Rashford stubbing one wide from 7 or 8 yards. Apart from that, I can't think of anything else. And we've lost. Have we lost the action? Looks as if we've... Oh, we are back now, I think. Again, technical problems are afoot at the moment. And we got the game back now. Then we got the moving pictures, and it's Shaw with a throw into Manchester United. No goals yet. Well, we haven't missed anything at all. 29 gone. It's Manchester United 0, Burnley 0 in the Premier League. Here's Pogba, the £89 million man, trying to play the ball in, but again Henrik snuffed the danger out, and now a chance for Burnley to get forward here. And they'll take a throw-in for that, and I think that's fair enough. Bardsley maybe just drought on it a little bit, but he gets the throw-in halfway inside his own half. Straight to Manchester United bench at the moment. Now there's a Burnley player gone down there, and Paul Pogba was involved. Now John Moss was no more than 10 yards away from that, and he's got to have made a mental note of that, and sure he has to book Pogba. He's got a and then there should have been a foul there on Ashley Barnes by Luke Shaw. Shaw went right through the back of him, and John Moss again not 15 yards away Didn't see it. How could he not see that? That is just unbelievable. And here come United now looking to punish them. Punish that, but Burnley should feel aggrieved on probably 2 counts. Now, firstly, there was a Burnley player going down. Unless he slipped, I can only assume Pogba's done something there off the ball. We've not seen it, unless the Burnley player has slipped. And it certainly looked a barge in the back there of Luke Shaw. So plenty for John Moss to look at. He's not the best referee I've ever seen in my life. I've been keen to criticise him on more than one occasion. I don't think he's a good enough referee. He got a lot of stick from John Colvin on Saturday because I didn't think he had a good game refereeing the game, that match. I thought it was very, very harsh to send off the Accrington Stanley player. This is the foul on Barnes. To me, that's a push in the back. He's clearly pushed Barnes over. That, to me, should have been a 3 kick. And I think John Moss has got that one wrong. John Moss, to me, has got that one wrong. Poor decision by the official. Absolutely appalling. I didn't think John Moss should have been a Premier League referee, and I keep maintaining that he should be conference at best. There are certain referees that I despise, and he's one of them. In terms of poor decision making, not just against Burnley, he made some bad calls against Accrington Stanley in that match against Derby the other day. And here's Henrik now trying to thread the ball forward, but it's cut out there by Pogba, and Pogba gets the ball forward, and over to the far side is Romelu Lukaku. Matt is making a break in the middle, so too is Pogba, but the ball is badly overhit, and Tom Heaton, under no great pressure, takes possession. We've had over half an hour and a bit of controversy here at Old Trafford, and John Moss is at the centre of it for failing to give a clear free kick, and it looked a clear foul to me on Ashley Barnes. And John Moss has got to get his brain into gear, because quite honestly, him and Mike Dean and a couple of others are just simply not up to being a Premier League referee. They've got to retire and give youth a chance. Here's Ben Mee to get the ball forward. Now then, Henrik chips that ball forward, and the play gets... Oh, that looked close, and the ball's gone in the net from Chris Wood, and I tell you what, there wasn't much in it. The roundsman there was Mark Perry. Now, was he onside here? Oh, I tell you what, that is very, very close. I couldn't really comment. He was very late with his flag there, Mr. Perry, the official. Burnley might feel a little aggrieved there. On another day, that would go for them. And considering the way they were harshly dealt with by linesman Stuart Burt at Watford the other week, well, they'll probably feel entitled to be a little bit aggrieved by that. Here's Jones now to find Lindelof, and now with the ball on halfway now. Telling United players have got short sleeve shirts on and gloves. Some of these foreigners I will never know. They just don't understand the concept of cold weather conditions. You put a long sleeve shirt on if you're gonna wear gloves. Put a long sleeve shirt on. I never understand players that wear short sleeve football shirts and then put gloves on. Never understood it. Anyway, maybe I'm just a boring old man now. Maybe I'm getting towards that age. As Lukaku has it now for Manchester United. A little chip in there. Oh, that could be problems. Shaw will track one. Oh, good plot by Tarkowski. And it goes over into the Stretford end for a corner. Shaw, not afraid to shoot on sight tonight by the looks of it, as Lukaku crossed in from the left. I think Bardsley got it away, and then Tarkowski did well there, just getting the block in. As we now rapidly approach the final 10 minutes of the first half at Old Trafford, the Clarets match live here on the JB Claret YouTube channel, Premier League football. Here's the shot coming in, is it? No, it'll come here for Pereira, chipping the ball in towards the back post. It's Pogba now holding it up. Jones will chip it in. Big chance here for United. Burnley under the cosh a little bit. That surely must be a foul there, and I think he's given a foul there despite the heroics of Tom Heaton from point blank range. Foul surely there on Lukaku and Charlie Taylor. But Tom Heaton made a fantastic save in all of that. It looked a clear foul there. Pushed Taylor out the way. Lukaku got his shot off, but Tom Heaton, again, despite this not really counting for much, That's actually a good save diving away to his left, despite the fact that the free kick had already been given, but you have to play to the whistle just in case. 10 minutes to go of the first half, plus any additional time added on for stoppages here. And we'll try and check the comic section, the comment section, not the comic section. Oh dear me, we do have some funnies and stuff like that. Benji Obey says hello, good evening to you. Let's get some thumbs up. Yes, we got some more thumbs up. That's great. Anyway, corner to United as they come searching forward. I'll check. There's some half-time scores, incidentally, that I want to keep you abreast with this evening. As the corner is won there, Rashford getting to the byline. Or is it a goal kick? I think it might have been a goal kick actually. Yeah, it was a goal kick. So we got some half-time scores. Remember, these are 7:45 kickoffs I'm about to read out. So Manchester City and Newcastle are also in progress. They've played 36 minutes, same as Manchester United Burnley here. So Arsenal and Cardiff 0-0 at half-time in that one. Same as Fulham 0, Brighton 2, and that's half-time. Same at Huddersfield, half-time there. Huddersfield 0, Everton 1. And Wolves West Ham 0-0 at half time. In the other 8 o'clock game, which is in progress, Newcastle 0, Manchester City 1, and our featured match from Turf War is Manchester United 0, Burnley 0, and Burnley are doing fantastically well so far. 3 points above the relegation zone in 16th place. That's at the start of play. A draw would move them further up. We've got a big game coming up on Saturday, and it is a massive game against Southampton at Turf Moor, and my goodness, 3 points there. It's a relegation 6-pointer. There has been a lot of talk about Che Adams coming to the club. Charlie Austin has been subject of a £6 million bid from the Clarets to return to his old joint as Manchester United come forward again, and it's Pogba now 40 yards from goal, chips the ball out towards the far side, and it's Ashley Young who can whip a ball in there. Ben Mee got an important touch, otherwise Lukaku was in, and Jeff Emerick trying to complete the clearance, and he didn't get it a good purchase enough. He was under a lot of pressure. This is Pogba inside the area. What a good tackle that was, and a corner to Manchester United. But a really good tackle there. Ashley Westwood getting a foot in that time. My word, he's had a good run in the team. He's had a fantastic run, and United now about to put some more pressure on the Burnley defence, who have been so far unbreakable. Here's Shaw with the corner, right foot from the near side. Tom, well, I'm surprised Tom came to punch that. I thought he might have tried to catch that there, Heaton, but the ball comes out to the far side. Bit surprised there with Tom Heaton at that particular moment in time. Sure, whoever punching it would have been a good thing. A chance here, and the ball is in the net, but I think the flag has gone up. Yes, offside against Rashford. Goal doesn't stand. Another good decision once again by Harry Leonard, the assistant, and in fact it was Paul Pogba rather offside than Marcus Rashford. They do look a little bit alike, but a great decision, I thought, by Mr. Leonard, the far side officials. He's had a good match so far, Harry Leonard. About all the officials out there on the field, he's probably had the better game. Probably let down by his other two, I have to say. As Wood goes forward, and that looks harsh against Barnes. That's very harsh indeed. Jones knew what he was doing, in my opinion. That looked a very harsh decision. John Moss is giving a few cheap decisions for Manchester United in Manchester United's favour here, which is a little bit annoying there, because I just get the sense and the feeling that he's trying to write his name all over this, to be quite honest with you. Anyway, it's back with Manchester United once again. Burnley, though, let's stick to the positives at the moment. 40 minutes gone, clean sheet at Old Trafford so far. It can't be bad. But wait a moment, here's Shaw. Could be problems here. Oh, what a good interception again. Tarkowski in the way that time. Shaw has probably been Manchester United's best player, But back came James Tarkowski inside the 6-yard area, and he smashed it up for a throw-in halfway inside the Burnley half. Now the ball back to halfway with Lindelof and Jones. And here's Pereira for Manchester United. Young out on the far side. 0-0. 5 to go. Manchester City winning 1-0 against Newcastle United. Looking to put a bit of pressure on Liverpool, who play tomorrow evening, as Shaw takes the ball into the penalty area, headed away via the penalty spot, and a good take out there by McNeil. Drifted out towards the left-hand side, had to check back because there was no support further forward. He was one of the furthest men forward in a white shirt, as Burnley looked to try and come forward again. Just the pass and move has just broke down a little bit here. This could be problems though, as Pogba goes towards the area, but Tarkowski once again stands on his feet. That looked a push there on Westwood, and again John Moss again in a very good position, and he didn't see it. How can he not see that? Shot comes in and it's just wide of the right hand upright from Monmata. Hit it left footed from about 25 yards out, but it looked a clear push here on Westwood here. Oh, Jack Cork, I mean, Pogba's pushed him, and John Moss has done absolutely nothing about it. And if that had been a Manchester United goal at that precise moment, I think Sean Dyche would have been entitled to feel a little bit annoyed by that decision from Mr. Moss. But as last, it's still 0-0. Pogba's actually had 5 goals, 4 assists in 6 Premier League games. He had only 3 goals, 3 assists in 14 under the previous manager, Mr. Mourinho. So just shows what a difference a new manager makes. As Jack Corky's fouled. Oh, Chris Wood's fouled. Well, that's ironic. About time that John Moss started wising up to the blatant pushing of the United defenders. And Burnley here have a chance. Now, to go in at 0-0 would be a great performance, a brilliant result, but to go in 1-0 up now would be unbelievable, as the decoy rung of Henrik has not tricked United in any way, shape or form. Westwood and McNeil, the two-man committee. It's going to be Westwood to whip it in right foot towards the area. I'm afraid it's badly overhit, and I don't really criticise actually Westwood too much for his set piece plays, but unfortunately you can't help but criticise it this time because it was a bit of a waste, if I'm being honest. Well, 2.5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Remember the games between Arsenal, games at Arsenal, Fulham, Huddersfield and Wolves, they're all half-time scores. Arsenal 0, Cardiff 0, Fulham 0, Brighton 2, Huddersfield 0, Everton 1, and Wolves 0, West Ham Wolves 0. Yes, Wolves 0, West Ham United 0. And in the other 8 o'clock game, Man City winning by a goal to 0 as the ball is chipped forward towards the edge of the Burnley penalty area once again, and that's going to go out for a Clarets throw. Clarets throw it is. And Bill Bardsley to take the throw. We'll take our usual 10-minute breather at half time, and we'll be back with you for the second half of the obviously intriguing game, which is still goalless, but there's Young free on this far side. Young goes for Gorey, and it goes well wide of the right hand upright. Went to hit it right footed, and Ashley Young, the Manchester United captain, hits the shot well wide of target. And so far so good for Burnley at the moment, holding Manchester United here at 0-0. And United have had some really good moments as Messrs Carrick and Solskjaer talk tactics down below me on the touchline. It's Tom Heaton about to take another kick. We're inside the final minute, incidentally, of the first half. We've got about 40 seconds of normal time to play, then I think there'll probably be about a minute, if that, of stoppage time. I'll be very amazed if it's any more than that. Has been quite free flowing, although we did have a couple of Burnley players down earlier on in the half, but the They're up pretty quickly within a minute, so I can't see it being any more than a minute, I think, at the end of the first half. This is McNeil now for the Clarets. They've really performed magnificently in the first half. A very big improvement on, even albeit with a different side that played Manchester City the other day. And I would be amazed if it's any more than 1 minute here that Martin Atkinson will raise, and indeed it is, and I was right. Good guess in the first place. So 1 added minute, I think that's a fair enough reflection of things in terms of the stoppage time. And I think Burnley will be very, very satisfied, and this staunch Claret will be very satisfied too that Burnley have fought their way to possibly a no-score draw at half-time. But we haven't been negative, not by a long chalk, as Barnes now holds it up in the corner flag. It's almost like the 90th minute of a game, but when you're at Old Trafford you need to try and be as professional and try and frustrate Manchester United for as much as you can, and in a weird sort of way Burnley have done that, and that's good to see. 15 seconds of the 1 minute to go. I should also stress at this point it is a minimum of. But here's Young with a throw in now for Manchester United. John Moss showing a few moments now will have to blow for time as he looks at his watch and does blow up right on the 1 minute of stoppage time. So very good first half performance from Burnley, very impressive, great defending. Tarkowski and me have been heroes. Bardsley made a good tackle. Tom Heaton really hasn't had too much of a save to make. The best chance United fell to Rashford early doors when he flicked one wide. But apart from that, really they haven't threatened Burnley too much, which is great news. Burnley have had a couple of half chances as well, but so far so good for the Clarets. As we go into the half-time interval, Manchester City are in the lead at Newcastle. They've just blown for half-time, so we're all up to date then, as we're taking a 10-minute break here at half-time. Be sure to join us for the second half of Burnley's away trip to Old Trafford. But here, good news so far for the Clarets on the Clarets Match Live. Half-time here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Burnley 0. Welcome back to Old Trafford, where we're just waiting for the teams to come out. I do apologise if there's no comments coming through on my screen. It's just the way that the thing has been set up, so I do apologise if I'm not reading out any comments this evening. Right, anyway, let's keep you up to date with what's been happening. The games at 7:45 have all kicked off. Bournemouth-Chelsea kick off at 7:45 tomorrow night. That's at the Vitality Stadium. Richard Sarri's men. We beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0. They come back into action. Callum Wilson might not be able to take part in that game. Chelsea in 4th place at the moment. They've lost 3 in our last 6 Premier League away games. Southampton Crystal Palace, they kick off at 7:45 as well at St Mary's. Crystal Palace with that terrific victory as well at in the FA Cup. You heard on the Sunday game on Sunday. But anything that happens now during this second half, we'll let you know. But Burnley have been superb. Good value for their half-time score of 0-0. We really have battled well and battled bravely, which is more than we did at Manchester City the other day. But what it does do really is vindicate really what Sean Dyche has said, really, that the league is important, and no one will argue with that. But if we could just get a draw, maybe dare to dream, maybe win, who knows. The way Manchester United have been playing at the moment, it could. Defensively, they've only got 4 clean sheets, so maybe if it gets to about 85, 86 minutes, maybe Burnley could have a go at winning the match itself if it gets there at 0-0. But you never know. We'll just have to see what comes off there. So we'll just have to see there. But well, Old Trafford, very cold. It's been a very cold day in Manchester, actually. There was snow, sleet, rain. We've had a lot in the north of England this last few days, or certainly today. And one thing is for certain, that so far so good for Burnley. They'll be pleased with that performance, and I think anyone in their right mind, if you're Clarets, will be. I mean, I'd have taken 0-0 at this stage of the game. I don't think there's any much doubt about that. We're just waiting for the two teams to emerge from the tunnel now. We did have some comments during the first half, which I am very sorry to have not read. Bot said hi and then said bye. Well, bye to you then if you're not there. Crazy Peter Gaming says hi, and he reckons Manchester United will win 2-1. That's not an unrealistic scoreline, by the way, but part of me wants Burnley to draw 0-0. I think I'll take a 0-0 draw, and that's my opinion of that. And I mean, I wouldn't mind commentating on a goalless draw, just as long as Burnley get points. I think that's the age-old adage. Don't forget, there'll be no live action on Sunday, as we'll be otherwise. I'll be otherwise engaged. We'll see what we can do on Saturday for you. But again, it all depends on availability. And of course, there's the and of course, there's the transfer deadline. Meanwhile, 2-2 at Craven Cottage. Fulham will score 2 quick-fire goals. Mitrovic has just equalised. But here at Old Trafford, Burnley are back out and ready to get us underway in white. So all sets for a thrilling second half, hopefully, here at Old Trafford as Cork gets the ball. Burnley attacking the Stretford end to our right, and it's Bardsley in a lot of space over on that far side, gets the crossing and the header back, and the goalkeeper struggling. Oh, and the ball just didn't reach Barnes. Otherwise he might have been able to knock that back maybe for Wood. Just to remind you of the two teams, as we just see that crossing there, Barnes had went in there and just couldn't get the ball back across. Big chance there for Manchester United. I'll run through the teams in just a second in case you missed them earlier. So I can now with Manchester United, David De Gea in goals, and then it's Shaw, then it's Young, Shaw, Lindelof and Jones across the back, Pogba, Mata, Pereira, Matic, Mata and Pogba, with Rashford, Pereira and Lukaku up front on the bench as United come streaming forward now inside the area. Mata shoots and well saved by Tom Heaton, diving away just a fraction or two to his left. Good left-footed shot by the Spaniard just outside the area, just central, and that's the first real opportunity of the second half that United have had. Burnley, as I said, line up Tom Heaton in goal, and a back four of Phil Bardsley, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. We've all had good games so far. The back five yet again. And then in the midfield, Henrik will play on the right with Westwood and Cork in the central positions, with McNeil on the left, and up front Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood. We've both been scoring goals lately. They got two crucial ones in that 2-1 victory over Huddersfield. Beat Fulham with 2 own goals. Although Henrik well, it was 2 own goals at the time, although a week later, 6 days later, Jeff Henrik was credited with the equaliser in that game at Turf Moor, which they did win 2-1. McNeil, I think, has been tagged offside. John Moss really needs to pull his finger out, I think, in the second half. He's had a bad second half. In fact, it's a throw into Manchester United. Spotted some really obvious decisions, John Moss. He didn't give free kicks for, and I was very disappointed with his referee. That's the only gripe I've got with the game so far. The referee has been poor. But apart from that, though, it's not been too bad. It's not been too bad so far. As United now trying to hook the ball out towards Young. It looked like he handled the ball, but I think his hands were down. Bata gets the cross into the ball. It's the penalty area. A little bit of pinball machine in there. Burnley got it away. But here's Pereira to pick it up, and he finds Young on the right hand side. Burnley need to track their markers, and that's a good header away. Not for the first time. Tarkowski in the way and getting it away, but again not very far for Burnley's annoyance. The flag is up, I think, for offside. It's a Burnley ball anyway, whatever the infringement was, whether it's gone for a throw-in or whether it was offside or not. John Moss is giving it Burnley's way. Tarkowski again winning headers that any ordinary defender wouldn't win. Right, 63 gone in the over 7:45 games. Arsenal 0, Cardiff 0, Fulham 2, Brighton 2. That is now confirmed. Brighton have chucked away a 2-goal lead. Huddersfield 0, Everton 1, and Wolves and West Ham still goalless. They've played now 63. Newcastle Man City kicked off the same time as our live match, and that is still currently at 1-0 to Manchester City at the moment in time, as they look to put pressure on Liverpool, who play tomorrow. Jurgen Klopp's side have had just over a week's break to prepare for the game, as the shot comes in from Pogba from about 25 yards just to the left of the D. Hit it well right footed, but Tom Heaton wasn't going to be fooled by a shot like that. A little bit frustrated tonight, Paul Pogba, which is good news for Burnley. Tom Heaton was expected to hold on to that and did. He's had a good night tonight again, Tom. Remember, we had that magnificent afternoon a couple of years ago as Heaton gradually comes off his line with Rashford steaming in, but he didn't get good purchase on his kick, and this could now lead to trouble. That's surely a foul there, and I think about time, referee. About time. There was a trip there on Mata, and in fact both Mata and Cork put their arms around one another and say, don't worry about it, just part of the game. Good to see two pros really finding time to be friendly in the heat of battle, as Sean Dyche. Remember, unbeaten in his last two here, 0-0 and 2-2 last season when Burnley should have won, but they allowed too much time added on to be played, I think, and that helped Manchester United get back into it. Burnley should have won it last year, the corresponding fixture, but through 2-2, although it was a great result in theory, it was really, I saw it as 2 points dropped, considering that we'd been in the lead at 2-0. Just to remind you of the benches, Romero, this is Manchester United's Romero, Alexis Sanchez, Chris Smalling, but here's a chance here for Burnley, and again! And it's a goal for Ashley Barnes at the Stratford end! There is a superhero in Burnley! Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No! It's Ashley Barnes! It was by Herrera. Burnley took advantage of it and punished them to the full. And what a big moment in Burnley's team, and this could be Cork winning the ball and Barnes with the right foot. Left foot did the rest. This is unbelievable. It's our birthday, Christmas, New Year's Eve, all rolled into one. Burnley amazingly at Old Trafford are 1-0 up against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United, and if they hold on to this lead, Burnley, they'll inflict the first ever defeat on Ole Solskjaer as Manchester United manager. And what a moment in Burnley's season that could prove to be. If they win this one, boy, that will be 3 bonus points and some. It's the 5th goal of the season for Ashley Barnes, and Burnley amazingly going the lead. This is unbelievable stuff. This has been... Well, we're on for the story of the night. I said a 0-0 would be a great result, but to see us winning at Old Trafford this season against Ole Solskjaer's invincible Manchester United side, well, it's beyond any Burnley fans and this commentator's wildest dreams. Ashley Barnes. What a moment for him. He scored last year, remember. He scored the first goal in that 2-2 match, you may remember, last year. But he's done it again this year. And with Burnley's defensive record now, Manchester United will have to go quite a long way now to try and get back into this one. They might need a little bit of Alex Ferguson inspiration here, United. This is Pogba, who's not really played like an £89 million man. That's easy for Ben Mee to cut out. Mattau's on the edge of the area, shot back in. Another save there from Tom Heaton. Oh my goodness, he's made some superb pieces of goalkeeping since coming back into the fold at the turn of the year, Tom Heaton. And Rashford got a good right foot shot. It looked as if it was going in the right hand corner, but Tom Heaton, diving away to his left, made a magnificent save. Here's Young now for the Clarets, for United, sorry. Pereira, who made the mistake which led to Cork pinching the ball and Barnes smashing it past the air, and United will stay on 4 Premier League clean sheets. They won't make it 5 tonight. Burnley, amazingly, if you've joined us just a minute or two ago, are in the lead. Ashley Barnes. Wow. I just had to recycle that line from Crystal Palace a couple of years ago. I just did. Because this could be a big moment in the season of Burnley Football Club in terms of Premier League survival. If they can hold on here to the lead they've got at Old Trafford. But this is Pogba to Rashford. Rashford will have a go. Shoots and wide of the target. It's not Rashford's night. It's not Manchester United's night. And I'm just wondering now, will he bring on Jesse Lingard? But, well, that's the save from Heaton a minute ago. I've just seen it on the replay, diving away to his left-hand side. But this is beyond any Burnley fans' wildest dreams. And we've got 35 minutes to go, 6 in their first 6 of the league games. And no manager's won 7 in charge of the team. They have won 8 out of 8, including the 2 cup ties earlier on this season against Reading and against Arsenal on Friday. But this really is a turn up for the book. And Manchester United have had 1 day more to prepare for this than what Burnley have. I'll tell you what, if Burnley were to hold on and win this, this will be probably one of their biggest away day victories in their Premier League. In their Premier League lives here, the Clarets. 3rd season up in the division. They didn't have a great start to it. But my goodness, they picked up good form here, and a good tackle again, not for the first time from James Tarkowski. He's been a colossus at the back, but here come Manchester United with Young, little deflection on the cross. Heaton can't stop it from going out. It's a United corner. Young scurrying across to the near side corner flag. Arsenal have taken the lead against Cardiff City. That's good news for Burnley, even better. Fulham 2, Brighton 0. These have been playing for 70 minutes. Everton 1 up, but they've lost a man. They've had a red card. Wolves have taken the lead against West Ham. And City 1 up in the second and the other 8 o'clock kickoff as the corner comes in by Young. Headed away. There's a man free at the back post here. Problems here for you. Oh, and then the ball came across. and somehow it's been hooked behind for a goal kick. Shaw was left with the freedom of the penalty area here. Burnley didn't pick him up. There was the shot, and it must have come off Marcus Rashford. And behind for a goal kick, it was Pogba, in fact. Pogba. And in fact, Pogba in the walls there. He made a bit of a meal of that against Phil Bardsley. Poor Pogba, he's not living up to the £89 million United paid for him. You're not going to get away with it against Phil Bardsley. Phil Bardsley's the complete competitor, as far as I'm concerned. And Burnley have got a decision again. And about time too. United fans don't obviously like it, but I'm sorry. Paul Pogba, for me, he's deserving what he gets right now. And Burnley now, if they can, well, can they dare to dream a second goal? Here's a chance in the edge of the area. Shot comes in and punched away. It almost took there off his feet there. Almost a second Burnley goal from nowhere. Oh my goody aunt. What would have been in dreamland then? It was Dwight McNeil with the shot. Fantastic shot from 20 yards to the left, right of the D. And what a moment that could have been for the youngster. This man is playing without fear. Dwight McNeil, mark my words. This man just doesn't know the word fear for 1 minute. Neither does Ashley Barnes, who was waiting for a ball into the penalty area. Now Manchester United on the break here. Burnley must get numbers back. This is Lukaku. Lukaku now faced by two Burnley defenders. Remember Lukaku, what a block that was. Ben Mee stayed on his seat, waited for the shot to come in. Lukaku had his shot blocked, and Ben Mee did a magnificent job. Well, Burnley, if they can get a result here, they'll have earned it. There's no doubt about it. Lindelof and Jones both forward from the backs. It's their 7th corner, United. Burnley, though, amazingly still in the lead. City leading at St James's Park against Newcastle. Wolves ahead. But they've played at 7:45 as the cross comes into again the penalty area. Burnley got ahead to it. The first ball was crucial. Shot back in again. Burnley really watertight defending. They're not letting United through at any cost. But here's Shaw, he's got a bit of space though on the left-hand side. Burnley really need to close this down. And the ball played in, and the ball goes out surely for a goal kick. I'll be very amazed if it's a corner, because I didn't think Charlie Taylor from the naked eye had touched that. But everything going Burnley's way. And all the results are going their way. Huddersfield losing, Cardiff losing, Fulham only drawing. This is good news for Burnley. This is fantastic news, great news. Sean Dyche, half an hour, maybe a bit more away from a famous victory at Old Trafford. We could have the story of the night here. And this would be a huge story. Ashley Barnes with the goal. After 51 minutes. We're in really uncharted waters with this. We just can't believe what we're seeing here. We are now in complete uncharted waters, and it would be one of the biggest results of my commentating career. But there's a booking here for one of the Burnley players, Jonathan Moss. Now what's this, a foul on Pogba? He's hardly touched him. Pogba's absolutely conned the referee. That's not a booking. And the goal scorer, wrongly in my opinion, was booked. Pogba just likes to make a meal of it. Now that's what annoys me about Pogba. He's such a talented young individual, but he doesn't have to do the theatrics. That really does wind me up. That's a foul there on Westwood by Rashford. Absolutely every day of the week. Now, are you going to get the yellow card out for Rashford? No, predictably not. We played an hour, but the good news is Burnley are winning. Burnley are winning. And if it stays that way, wow, what a result! What a result! I wouldn't like to be absolutely anonymous tonight. I tell you, if he's listening, he's probably at the game. He's probably in the ground anyway. Here's the free kick taken by Heaton from midway inside his own half on the far side. And the ball knocked away after a couple of games of head tennis. Rallies of head tennis. Well, substitutions now coming to both Sean Dyche and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's thinking now. But it's Well, we can't get it. Well, listen, it's great, and it's beyond anyone's wildest dreams that Burnley are winning this football game. Let's make no bones about it. But the reality is simple. No one should get ahead of ourselves here. Still half an hour just over to go, plus any stoppage time. We play 61 minutes, and anything can still happen. But stranger things have happened, and Burnley have been fantastic. The two banks of four really working a treat like it did when they first came up a couple of years ago. The ball was favoured. Oh, I thought, well, Taylor should have left that for Tom Heaton. No doubt about it. But Burnley have somehow come away with the ball here, and it's Jack Cork now to Dwight McNeil. This fearless young 19-year-old. He's had a magnificent game again tonight. Really is a superb play. We looked a fish out of water on Saturday. Purely and simply, he was playing out of position, to be fair to him. Free kick to Burnley on the near side, the left-hand side, and well, Pereira's had a bad game. Fulham have taken the lead 3-2 in a real epic at Craven Cottage, and a substitution, and it's Jesse Lingard, who controversially scored the pull one back, and it looks as if United are going to lay siege. So Jesse Lingard is on. The man who got a very lucky equaliser last season to make it 2-2 in the corresponding fixture. Well, he's got about 25 minutes, maybe a bit more, to try and help his team out of a real hole here, because Burnley have a free kick into the side of the penalty area. It goes, and it's hooked away. Burnley are on course for a famous victory, but we can't really get ahead of ourselves. I don't want to tempt fate at this stage of the game. Maybe when the clock ticks over to 90 minutes, we might be able, and it's still the same, we might just be able to say it. But there's still a lot of football to be played from now until the final whistle. Arsenal 1, Cardiff 0, Fulham 3, Brighton 2. Barnes was complaining there about the free kick throwing taken too quickly, or maybe a foul throw. Wolves winning against West Ham. That's a big result for Wolves in the battle to finish the best of the rest outside the top six, and Wolves have had an exceptional season, especially at Molineux. It's strapping, folks. I think we could, and I'm going to make the decision because I haven't got any chat facilities up on my screen, on my other screen. I'm going to have to just choose a JB man in the match. And at the moment, there are a few good candidates from Burnley. Not really to pick out for Manchester United thus far. Maybe the goalkeeper, perhaps. But here's Ashley Young. Young now in a bit of space on the side, near side. But again, Ben Mee and James Tarkowski well positioned and police United very well. But still, United come again on the right hand side with Young into Lingard. Back to that's one matter. They didn't pick him up this time. Oh, look at Tarkowski there in a great position. Ben Mee actually put him off with the cross, and Tarkowski got back there. But here's Matic, and here's Mata, and again, what defending! This is unbelievable stuff here. James Tarkowski's having the match of his life so far. Here's Mata now for United into Lingard. Now the Young with first time cross. Ben Mee with a header away, and now Wood to take it on the chest. This has been a magnificent performance. Foul there on Ashley Barnes, quite clearly there. Matic furious, but the right decision there. And Barnes and Matic have been in some sticky situations before. They were peeling hands, were they, against Ben Mee? I'm not sure. No, I don't think they were. But Burnley are riding that pop now. Not a handball at all. If it was a handball, then I'm sorry, I'm Mother Teresa. Paul Pogba should stop whining and get playing football. Maybe he'll get the praise that he craves if he just plays his natural game, instead of rolling around like an idiot and trying to appeal for every decision that's never going to go his way. Hate people like Paul Pogba for that. And it just makes me wonder why he's worth £89 million. Ridiculous. Meanwhile, 25 to play. Burnley 1 up at Old Trafford. This is unbelievable stuff here. They played 80 minutes in the games at the Emirates, Craven Cottage, the John Smiths and Molineux. And at the moment, the wins so far for Arsenal, for Fulham, for Everton, despite the fact they've gone down to 10 men in the game at the John Smiths, and for Wolves at Molineux. But here's Young now for Manchester United, trailing here to Burnley. And again another crossing, and again Ben Mee with another scooping header, but only as far as Young. And again this could be problems. And what a save from point blank range to deny Lukaku from Tom Heaton. He's performing heroics again. This looked an equaliser, but look at this for a save right on the line and gets it away, skipped it out for a corner to United. That looked offside there as the ball is spread towards Matic. Matic shot over the crossbar. Goal kick Burnley, and Manchester United again denied by the heroics of one Tom Heaton. As I just see a replay of Matic hitting the shot over. There's the ball for the ones Tarkowski's beaten, but when he's beaten, you've got to get past the Colossus and the heroic captain. That is Tom Heaton, and what a big left hand that was, and he was backpedaling. His body weight was to his right. He had to dive to his left. Lukaku has gone off, and Alexis Sanchez is on. Now United are getting desperate, and Sanchez, who looked okay against Arsenal, did really well against Arsenal, hasn't really done it for me in the Premier League since coming to Old Trafford. He wanted to leave Arsenal. It was his decision, and I just think it was the wrong decision at the time. But Burnley here are on course. We're halfway almost through the second half. This is Charlie Taylor, 1-0 to the Clarets. Barnes after 51 minutes with the goal. And here's McNeil running at his man. McNeil with a good cross in there, and almost a chance for Burnley inside the area. They get a throw-in level with the area. Wolves have gone 2 up now. Still 1-0 to Manchester City. They've played 67 minutes now. 82 gone at the Emirates. 1-0 to Arsenal. That was a 7:45 kickoff. Fulham have gone 4-2 up from 2-0 down. What a comeback from Ranieri's boys. Looking bleak now for Huddersfield, losing to 10-man Everton 1-0, and time running out down across at the John Smith Stadium, not too far away from here. But at the moment it's Burnley on the attack now, with an opportunity now to go for a second one. Oh, and just couldn't find Ashley Barnes. That was just for a moment then the old ticker went pounding then as Burnley went forward in search of a second goal on the break. 22 minutes left to play at Old Trafford. It's Burnley tantalisingly so, 22 minutes away from a famous victory as the cross came in, but it's turned away, not for the first time, by James Tarkowski. It was Sanchez's crossing. It wasn't the best cross in the world, but Tom Heaton and his back four, well, whatever happens tonight, they should take a lot of the plaudits. Off comes Linda Jones. Shaw with the corner. He's probably been United's best player bar none, as the corner comes into the penalty area, flicked on, and it's a little bit of a crowd scene inside that Burnley 6-yard area, but they got it out, but not very far, mind you. This is Jesse Lingard. Back to Ashley Young on the right hand side. Burnley so close to a famous victory if they can just hold on in there. Tarkowski well positioned to hook the ball away as Mata crossed in. He'll get a second goal here in one Mata. Manchester United 0, Burnley 1, remember. In case you joined us late, Barnes with the goal as the chip forward from Sanchez. Taylor reads the ball very, very well, but only as far as Young. Burnley now have been pinned back in the penalty area as Young digs out the cross. The goalkeeper off limits, but so too... Look at that. If you want a hero, look no further than Phil Bardsley. He's had a marvellous game against the side he started his career with. Newcastle have equalised 1-1 against Man City. The title race takes another huge twist there, and that's good news for Liverpool. As Manchester United go in search of an equaliser with Phil Jones. And now Matic. Manchester United desperate now. Even after 69 minutes. Burnley have brought everybody back practically behind the ball. And here they come again, United. Sanchez looking to get the cross in, and Burnley will just not budge in defence. There's the ball in there. Pogba's header. And it's wide of the target to the right hand side, and a goal kick. It is for Burnley. Oh, relief. It's getting to the players, it's getting to the fans, it's getting to this commentator, I can tell you. Good cross from Sanchez, however. That was a lovely ball in, but not the finish we would expect from a guy that they paid £80 million for. 5 shots to 20 in favour of United. They've only had 4 out of the 20 on target, and that tells the story. Burnley have had 3 out their 5 and have scored. And that's the difference. The accuracy and and the success rate in the finishing. That looked a foul there on Barnes, on Wood, but a free kick has not been given to Manchester United, to Burnley. Sorry, Manchester United have possession. Wow. If Burnley win this game, it will be one of the greatest upsets of all time. One of the greatest upheavals of all time. This is Ashley Young on the near side for Manchester United. They surely can't cave in here now, the Clarets. It's one matter chipping it in. Chance here, and Tarkowski again. That man will not be beaten tonight. You can be rest assured of that. That's a foul on Chris Ward. Cynical as they come. And Lindelof has to go in the book for that. Surely. John Moss, as I thought, has got his cards out. Jesse Lingard can appeal all he wants, but it is a yellow card offence. This is turning out to be one of the greatest upsets of all time. Jimenez has scored. JB man of the match, Ashley Barnes. Well, I mentioned. Well, I've got to. Well, you've made the vote, and you did say hashtag JB. I am sorry that our things. And look at that one matter throwing the ball away. That is just pathetic. I'm sorry, but Manchester United. This is not Manchester United like. They're not. This would be one of the most brilliant turn-ups of all time if Burnley were to go on and win this game. It's been a marvellous evening's entertainment. Burnley have a throw-in. This is beyond any wildest dreams I never thought we'd see today. And we've seen some great days from Burnley's recent history. Yellow card has been brandished. Well, I don't think Taylor was taking that long. I think John Moss is just trying to be an absolute idiot about things. I've been unimpressed with his refereeing, as I always am when I commentate on any game he officiates in. The only official that should take a bit of credit is Mark Perry. He's had Harry Leonard. I think he's had a marvellous match. Mark Perry has been poor as well out of the three officials. Burnley so near now to a fabulous victory. Wolves have gone 3-up incidentally against West Ham United, and that's a bad result for West Ham. They were turned over 4-2 on Saturday evening by Wimbledon. Arsenal have gone 2-up now, so surely no way back for their opponents, which were Cardiff, who are trying to come to terms with the loss of their new signing Salah, who tragically we fear now will be dead now the search has been called off and all that sort of thing. And my thoughts are with obviously our thoughts are with him and his family, and of course with Cardiff City at this tragic moment. It must have been hard for the Cardiff players tonight to go out there and play a game knowing that one of their players will be has probably now sadly perished away. Here's one matter then. Burnley on course, 74 minutes almost gone, 16 minutes still to play. Burnley are on course for a famous victory at this moment in time. Can they do it? I'll tell you what, if they do it, there will be Facebook highlights of this game, commentary highlights of this game, and I'm going to wind up a couple of my Manchester United supporting mates. And if Harry Barker is listening to this stream, this is going to be a bittersweet day for me, I tell you now. We're nearly at the end of the 7:45 games, by the way. Quarter of an hour left to play. This is unparamount in footballing history. This will be one of the biggest results Burnley have ever achieved in the Premier League. It would probably be better if they were to win than the result they got against Ferguson's men at Turf Moor 10 years ago. Here's Pogba. Pogba now for Manchester United, looking to wind it up. This is not Manchester United here. Oh, no. He's gone down too easy. John Moss has bought that. Rashford went down far too easy. I'm not having that at all. He's caught. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's poor. Poor refereeing there from the referee. Poor. Threw himself to the ground. John Moss bought it. Absolutely poor refereeing. And if United were to score from this, it would be such an injustice. Burnley 1-0 up, but have a free kick harshly given against them. John Moss has had an appalling game. The only gripe I've got at the moment, apart from that, Burnley to a man have played magnificently. 5 in the Clarets wall. So Mata and Sanchez, the two-man committee. It's Mata with the free kick, hits the wall. And if Burnley concede out, it'll be complete justice. Here's Matic out on the right-hand side. United aren't finished yet from this attack anyway. The ball goes in. No way in the world was he going to get a penalty for that, Pogba. And I'm glad for once that John Moss has not fallen for it. He's gone in there. No way is that a penalty. He's fouled Ashley Barnes in any case. If he was looking for a penalty, that was not the right way to go about it. I've been very, very disappointed with the attitude of Paul Pogba tonight. For an £89 million footballer, he has not done himself any favours whatsoever. Johan Berg Gudmundsson incidentally is about to come on. He's going to replace Strike McNeil. A bit of an oddball now. Thought he might have taken Jeff Henrik off, but McNeil getting a fantastic ovation from the Clarets. There's about 2,000 of them who are absolutely thrilled to bits with his performance tonight. I've got to say, whatever happens to Burnley now from the next 15 minutes, whatever happens to them, they can be proud of the effort they put in tonight. There's no complaints at all. No one should complain. It's very harsh if they were to lose or even draw the game at this stage. But you can't discount Manchester United. You never bet against them, so you've got to be wary of them. But Johan Berg Gudmundsson, Iceland international, probably will go to the right-hand side. Can play left-hand side, but he's better off, I think, on the right-hand side. Just coming back from an injury, so he has about 13 minutes. So Burnley have never won. The last time they beat Manchester United was 1962. That's how long it has been since they've won at Old Trafford. 19 games since then. They haven't won, but they have drawn a couple of times in the last 2 seasons. 1962, remember the last time they won? A long, long time ago. When the Beatles were still in their infancy, of course. Before they hit it big a year later. As Manchester United look to come again now. Looking for this equaliser. 57 years since they've won here at Old Trafford. Is that run another 12 minutes of stoppage time away from ending that long, long year, all those years of hurt? And if they take the 3 points here, what a big 3 points it could be towards safety. And it would put the pressure then, it would really relax them more for the big Southampton game that's coming up on Saturday. That's the big one really for Burnley in terms of realistic winnable games. But what it will do, if they're winning this game, it would attract better players to come to the club in the last couple of days of the window. And of course we'll do a transfer review on Friday as well. Here's Sanchez chipping the ball in, and again, look at this. It's been first-rate defending from first to last. Charlie Taylor intercepting there. I think he's done magnificently. This has been an unbelievable display. This is nail-biting stuff. I've got my fingers crossed. I've got my toes crossed. I've got everything crossed now in this commentary box. Burnley's so close to winning this game. Oh, but wait, a chance inside the penalty area, and it just wouldn't fall for Jesse Lingard. And in fact, it wasn't Jesse Lingard, it was Marcus Rashford. And he was just onside, I have to say. But Charlie Taylor just did enough. And he shepherded the ball coolly back to Tom Heaton. Did really well there, the former Leeds United man. He did really, really well. Well, Cardiff have scored one back against Arsenal, 2-1 to Arsenal. Fulham 4, Brighton 2. Everton still winning with 10 men against Huddersfield. These are now into stoppage time. Wolves have won 3-0 surely now against West Ham. Until we get those confirmed as results, we'll bring them to you as soon as the final whistles are sound. 1-1 between Newcastle and Man City. So at the moment, good news for Liverpool in terms of the title race. They play tomorrow, of course. Here's a chance now for Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson laying the ball back and across it towards the penalty area. It's another one! 1! It's 2-0 to Burnley! It's Chrissy 1! And that could be the goal that gives Burnley their first win at Old Trafford since 1962! This is unbelievable stuff! This is without doubt the story of the Premier League tonight! Without a shadow of a doubt! The cross-in was just onside! Maybe justice has been served for what happened at Watford the other week. A lovely chip in there by Westwood, who's played magnificent tonight. There's the cross back, and one from 6 yards prods it past a static David De Gea, and Burnley have that insurance policy of a 2-goal lead at Old Trafford, and this is turning into a birthday, Christmas, New Year's Day for everyone concerned with Burnley Football Club, players, management, supporters, chairman, the lot! And that could well be the goal that inflicts Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first league defeat in charge of Manchester United. This is unbelievable stuff. Oh, this is... words cannot describe it. Words cannot describe it. Manchester United are being humbled here by a resolute Burnley side, 2-0, and it's Barnes and Wood at the double. Here's Matic now for Manchester United. They're needing snookers now. Here's Jesse Lingard. Lingard. And the last thing Burnley want to see is Lingard on the ball. But here's Young. Burnley now on course for a famous victory. Oh, we were talking at half-time how a 0-0 would be a magnificent result. Well, this is now in the realms of fantasy football. Who we got to pick for a JB man in a match now? Oh, he's holding a penalty! Oh my goodness me, that's a poor decision from John Moss. That's surely got to be outside the penalty area. In fact, I think it is outside the area. I thought he'd ordered a penalty, but he hadn't. Oh, that was close. It is a free kick, but my goodness. My goodness, that was very close. I thought he'd ordered a penalty then. I thought for a moment he'd ordered a penalty. Well, it's only a free kick, but it's still in a dangerous situation. Oh, thank God that it wasn't a penalty. I thought he looked for 1 minute as John Moss had pointed to the spot then. And it did look outside to me. But now then, if Burnley can defend this now and see it out, then they've done well. Here's the ball in there, and Tarkowski again. Just need to get in their second ball, and they do that. Westwood, what a fantastic clearance. Gunmanson on the chase, but it's back now with Jones. Manchester United just haven't looked like breaking Burnley down, and they're running out of time rapidly. They need 2 goals and maybe a couple of snookers perhaps, but wait a minute. Oh, for a moment I thought Lingard might have nodded that over Heaton, but Heaton, cool as you like, got there. Oh my word, this is some finish. This is some finish. It was Rashford, in fact, with the header. Final score: Everton 1, Huddersfield 0, Arsenal 2, Cardiff City 1. So defeat for Cardiff. West Ham have been soundly beaten 3-0 at Wolves, and there's a big turn up here at St James's Park. There may well be not just a story here, but at St James's Park, City were winning comfortably, but Newcastle have turned it around. 2-1 they lead against Manchester City. This is good news for Liverpool in all areas tonight. For them, United losing, City losing. This is unbelievable. And what about... I'll tell you what, the pressure now cranked up on Cardiff, Fulham, and a couple of other teams as well. Huddersfield look down and out now. They can't buy a win. So let's put them down at the moment. But at the moment, despite Fulham's comeback, it may well be in vain, because Newcastle are winning, the Clarets are winning here. This Premier League season is taking an extraordinary twist. 5 minutes to play plus stoppage time. Manchester United 0, Burnley 2. This is amazing stuff here. You're listening to the JB Claret YouTube channel, live from Old Trafford. Remember, there are empty seats. significantly, there are empty seats. Not for the first time we've seen empty seats here at Old Trafford. This is unbelievable stuff. I don't think we can quite believe what we're seeing here or hearing here. 4.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go, and I can't think it would have been any more than 3 minutes at this rate. Burnley have really, I think, have only made one substitution in the entire game. Lingard's in there, but my word, what a... They've won every first and second ball that's been tossed into their penalty area, Burnley. They've just battled like tigers tonight, and they deserve to win this game. Ben Mee, another header to knock away a cross. It comes to Jesse Lingard, keeps it in on the far side. Burnley now coming up towards the final 4 minutes. Are we starting to believe, Clarets fans? Here's one Matter trying to play the ball in. He gets the ball rather fortuitously the second time. It's Jesse Lingard. He goes down rather theatrically. Oh, I don't believe it. I think he's ordered a penalty. Oh, that's ridiculous. He's ordered a penalty against Jeff Henrik. No way. Lingard has conned the referee. He's conned the referee. I'm sorry, but that's not a penalty. That is not a penalty. He's conned the referee, Jesse Lingard, and that, I'm afraid, is a work of a cheat. No way was that a penalty, and I think John Moss was dying to give a penalty all night. And wouldn't it be just justice if Pogba missed it now? He's going to have this silly run up now. He's going to take it now. Wiggles, scores. And there's no way in the world that Manchester United deserve that. They won the penalty through false pretences. The referee was conned by a complete and utter piece of cheating from Jesse Lingard. And then Pogba then, to rub salt into the wound, makes it 2-1. But Burnley are still leading crucially. But there was no way in the world. But I think John Moss just wanted to give Manchester United a penalty. I think he was going to do that in any case, but they haven't deserved anything all night, United. That was never a penalty. Lingard cheated, in my opinion, and I'll maintain that afterwards. He's a cheat, Jesse Lingard. He cheated Burnley in his Birmingham days when they were in the Championship, when Burnley were going for promotion 7 or 8 years ago. He's cheated Burnley here, but Burnley have got to just hold on now with 1-goal lead. It's just as well we scored that second goal then, really. Manchester United now still need a couple of goals if they're going to win this game, but I can't see it at this moment in time unless the referee starts evening it up. As the ball goes over to the far side now, and it's just got to go into the corner now. Burnley now have just got to waste a bit of time. They're still 2-1 up. Let's not forget that. Let's try and think about the positives here and not the poor refereeing. Here's Barnes, edge of the area. He's done really well. Barnes holding it up. Henrik into the path of Cork. Burnley just keeping possession, and that's all they've got to do. Don't do anything blasé. Just keep possession. Don't do anything stupid, and they'll win the game. As Tarkowski hits it as far up the field as he possibly can. 90 seconds just under to go. And I would assume there'll be at least 3 minutes. I'm guessing if he gives any more than 3, I'll be annoyed. Because it's not been a dirty game bar none, and we haven't seen too many substitutions. I think we've seen about 3, maybe 4 in the entire second half, and they haven't taken too long to be done. Here's Matter now for Manchester United. Last minute of normal time, folks. Burnley are winning 2-1. They had a penalty ordered against them for a very, very harsh decision against Jeff Henrik, I felt, when Jesse Lingard just practically threw himself to the ground and cheated Burnley out of a penalty. And that's the sort of cheating that should not exist in the Premier League. Here's Pogba now. Pogba edge of the area. Pogba will get the shot off. And what a save that is from Tom Heaton. Still in the danger zone. Burnley have got to just get bodies in the way, and they've done just that. Westwood just gets it to halfway line. In fact, he gets it a bit further up than that. Oh my goodness. 15 seconds of normal time to go. Burnley must hang on in there. The victory is theirs if they can just hold on. Burnley are so close. 5 seconds before the 90 minutes. Ashley Barnes is the JB man in the match. Thanks to Russ Vernon's vote, Ashley Barnes gets the JB man in the match, and deservedly so. He's worked hard tonight. We've played 90 minutes. Where's he got 5 added minutes from? That is pathetic. I'm sorry, but where on earth has he got 5 minutes from? That's not a... Well, I'm sorry, 3 minutes at best. But 5? Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Just looking at Pogba's shot again. And Tom Heaton, it wasn't the best save that he pulled off, but it was good enough. It was good enough. 5 added minutes. I'm just trying to figure out where this... Probably been about 3 minutes in terms of stoppages, and I just can't see why he's ordered 5 minutes from. I just can't understand where he's got 5 minutes from. We had this sort of problem last season and United equalised. I can't understand where they've got 5 minutes from. That's not good news, but Burnley must hold on for another 4 minutes longer. It's going to feel like 40 years, not 4 minutes. Here's Manchester United again looking for this equaliser. And the only way they've really got back in the game is through a cheap refereeing decision. And that didn't look at all. And I'm sorry, but they were tiring to win penalties. That did not look a penalty on Jesse Lingard. Here's Mata chipping the ball in. And Tarkowski winning the header. It will be a United corner. And Burnley have got some defending to do now. Rashford looking to get on with it quickly. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer smiling. But it's a corner kick as the ball is playing in towards the area. Well won again by Cork. That looked like hands there against Jones. Again, the referee didn't spot it. That's another prime example of poor officials. As the header comes in, another great save, and it's gone in! How on earth has that gone in? It can't be happening! 2-2, they don't deserve it, Manchester United. They just don't deserve it. That is a lucky goal. Lindelof has scored from 2 yards, and I'm afraid they've got out of jail. And I believe that decision, there was a clear handball by a United player in the build-up, and the referee didn't spot it, and Keaton made a great save. He almost made a second great save, and Burnley have been denied again by poor officiating. John Moss, hang your head in shame. United do not, repeat, do not deserve to be level. It's a good save from Sanchez, but there's no way in the world they deserve to be level. No way. They've got out of jail through cheating. They've cheated. They've cheated. That's what they've done. They've cheated. And I don't like cheats. It's tough, it's rough on Burnley, and where on earth have they got 5 minutes from? There are going to be questions after the officials. Martin Atkinson, John Moss in particular, they need to be looked at as referee and fourth official, because my goodness, they haven't done their job enough. No way is that a 2-2 scoreline. I am absolutely annoyed. Manchester United do not deserve to be level. Do not deserve to be level. No way. I mean, it would be a good point for Burnley, don't get me wrong, but they should be winning this match, Burnley. They should have been. That, well, John Moss has got a lot of explaining to do. John Moss, I believe, is the culprit for why Burnley have been pegged back in this football match. Jesse Lingard has cheated Burnley again. And it's getting sick there. Look, a clear handball there. And again, Moss, he was in a good position. He didn't spot it. He didn't spot a clear handball. What is this referee playing at? The ball into the penalty area. Burnley must clear their lines. John Moss, what is he doing? This is the most pathetic piece of refereeing I have ever seen in my lifetime. 1 minute to play. It would be a total injustice if Burnley got nothing out of this game. It's an injustice. They're only going to get a point for their efforts. The biggest injustice, I think, in the game. Lingard with the cross. Burnley must get ahead on it. Taylor must clear these lines. He's only cleared it out for a throw-in. 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. United have been helped by some very poor refereeing. Here's Mata again. Edge of the area. Lindelof. Hey, here. Oh! Justice at last. It hit the referee. Here's the free. Here's the ball in from Young. Burnley must get ahead on that. Tarkowski's had a marvellous game. And Burnley now just need to get it as far up the field as they can. They've got a point. They've got a point. It should have been 3. Should have been 3. And I have no doubts that John Moss's poor decision to order a penalty when Jesse Lingard clearly dived has cost Burnley 2 points. Don't get me wrong, it's a great point, and it would have been a total injustice if Burnley had got nothing, but I'm angry. I'm angry with the referee. I want questions asked of John Moss and his officials, because quite frankly, they were abysmal. Absolutely abysmal in that game. They need to be looked at, these referees. Never a penalty, and was never ever a penalty. I want John Moss investigated, because that was a poor decision. And Jesse Lingard, you are a shameful cheat. But let's look at the positives, shall we? Burnley went 2 up, deservedly so, through Barnes and Wood. Then Lingard's dive, Pogba took the penalty, and then when Manchester United had a clear on ball against them, not spotted, it was curtains for them. Meanwhile, there's 5 minutes gone at St James's Park in the other game of stoppage time. We'll see this one to the end as Newcastle look to try and claim a victory. Now I'm praying for City to get an equaliser in this one, and they haven't, and Newcastle are going to win, to my annoyance. Oh my goodness me, it turned into a great night for Burnley. There were 2 goals clear and coasting, and then the referee, I think that decision to order a penalty was one of the most disgusting decisions I have seen this season. That was never a penalty. Burnley have been robbed. They do, however, get a point, but it's not a point. It's not a point that will feel like a bit of a defeat, really. And well, bitter taste in the mouth, that is for sure. Newcastle have won, so that doesn't help Burnley's cause in some respects. Neither does Fulham's result, and it just makes it very difficult to bear when Burnley should have been celebrating like the Newcastle fans are. I'm just seeing there. I'm very disappointed. But I just want to say, to a man, the both Burnley team played absolutely unbelievably out of their skins tonight. Not one player should get criticised for the way they performed, the way they played, the way they harassed. They have nothing to be ashamed about. They put in a fantastic display, and to only get a point, well, they'll feel very, very disappointed. That is for sure. And I do feel that Jeff Fenrick was conned into having a penalty ordered against him. So here are the results for tonight. Arsenal 2, Cardiff 1. Fulham have taken a huge step, beating Brighton and Hove Albion 4-2. Huddersfield looked down and out, beaten 1-0 by 10-man Everton. Wolves 3, West Ham 0. Wolves going really well. Burnley should have had 3 points, but were undone by a controversial refereeing decision and ended up drawing 2-2 at Manchester United. And Newcastle 2, Manchester City 1 has finished there at St James's Park. But bitter disappointment really for Burnley. We'll try and bring you the league table as we get it. But I want to just say, John Moss, you are an absolute disgrace to refereeing, and you should be investigated for match fixing. You know, I just find it difficult to. You know, we should be celebrating that Burnley have gone to Old Trafford and got a point, and yet it feels like a defeat because to a refereeing decision which was an absolute scandal. And I will put that. You know, I just feel that John Moss is a cheat. Also, I feel that Jesse Lingard is a cheat. Manchester United should think themselves very, very lucky. I've got no questions at all with my team. I thought Burnley played fantastically, and to be undone by the worst decision I have ever seen in my lifetime kills me to high heaven and back. It really does. It annoys me so much when a deserved victory is snatched away at the last second. It really, really hurts. But I'm proud of the way Burnley performed. I've got nothing that nobody should be ashamed of the way Burnley went about their business tonight. They were ambitious. They scored 2 magnificent goals and yet only come away with 1 point to show for their efforts, thanks to a referee who just simply is not good enough to referee at this level, and he needs to be sacked as a referee, John Moss, because quite frankly his decision has cost Burnley dear tonight, and I'm fed up of Burnley being on the wrong end of pathetic, horrible refereeing decisions. We'll try and get you the league tables before we go, but it's a bitter pill to swallow because it should be 3 points we're talking about, not 1 as we know. Right, so Burnley are 4 points above the drop zone, so Cardiff losing has sort of helped us in a way. Newcastle go above us, annoyingly. But 23 points, Palace on 22, Southampton on 22. So at least all the bottom 3 have played their games, Southampton and Palace, but the big one against Southampton, if we win that, then all them injustices tonight will we'll just have to see, but we should be on 25 points tonight. We should be where Newcastle are now. We should be in 14th thanks to a referee's position. We've lost the place. But let's finish on a high note. The referee, John Moss, villain of the match. I think there hasn't been as much doubt about that. But the heroes, Ashley Barnes, yes, he'll get the JB Man of the Match award. I don't think there's much doubt about that. But let's just put it this way. Burnley, to a man, were a credit to their club, were a credit to the manager, were a credit to the supporters, and a credit to this great commentator who will not see any bad words said about them tonight, because to a man, they played like they wanted to win the game. It's just a damn shame that John Moss didn't referee it fairly. But a point is not a bad result, but it could and should have been all 3 points. And that's it. On a night of huge drama, Burnley looked as if they were coasting to victory, and then John Moss conning everybody, and Jesse Lingard again for a 3rd time in his career has conned Burnley out of a win. It's frustrating, it's angry, it's downright cheating, and it should not be allowed to happen in the game. But the bottom line is Burnley were far from disgraced, and on another day they would have got all 3 points. A point is still a good point, but if only it had been 2 more and the referee hadn't have done what he did, then we might have been celebrating a Burnley victory. It does feel like a defeat, but maybe that point in the cold light of day may well be the difference. But it is very, very hard to take when a referee makes a poor decision like that to order a penalty when Jesse Lingard has clearly cheated to win that penalty. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I do apologise about the comments section. I hope you won't be too offended by that. But for me, JB, have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye. Good night.